Hello folks, finally got this on hand, the CF Express adapter for external 2280 nvme. So I did a little test just to share with you, hope that it's useful. Now in the previous episode I talked about how to avoid overheat when you do 8K on my Z8, and well, when I do 8K, not you. The basically is the heat from the card itself, which I'm using a 2230 adapter, and the battery also. So the previous experiment was to use a fan to blow it and use PD power just to avoid the battery being used and generate heat, and other things like the heat dissipation from here, the air cool will do the job. So it was okay. But then I was thinking about like having this thing being put outside. So that comes to this solution. I'm sure there are, I think from the shopping list, it seems there's already adapter like that for which is a type A for, sorry about that, for Sony A1 with an external. So this one is a type B, and basically it's just an adapter. I think it's just by wire, so it's a PCIe cable to a regular 2080 with it comes with the adapter itself. The heatsink is not included. I just got myself a heatsink. I actually got two. The other one sorry about my coughing. The other one is like that, which is smaller, with a heat pipe, just to help a bit on the heat dissipation. It just plugged in as usual like that. So, and that's it. And no big deal. It's just the same as a CF Express, but external. There are a few reasons for that, for me at least. The 2280, this one I got is a 2 terabyte, and it's about the same price as what I paid for. It's actually less than what I paid for the 2301 terabyte here. So actually it's half price. The other reason is obviously being able to do it external. So external meaning, in the case of like I'm shooting a documentary, I would tie it up, fix it on a rig or something, and it's stationary for an hour or even longer. So it has a capacity to do an hour and half at least on a 8K and RAW. And I try it. The temperature is averaging around 22 Celsius. The other heat dissipation that comes in is the body itself, and this area. This area actually turns out to be like 30 degrees Celsius. I believe there is a PCB board there that would handle the PCIe traffic that is a bit hot. So I also pull it out like what some other people suggest on web, to allow the heat coming out from the back panel here, which is metal. So this part, and then the front side, this area is quite high. It's about 27 degrees when I measure it over an hour. So this area averaging around not higher than 30, about 25 to 28. And later on in a second experiment, after the first hour trial, I do a second one, which is using a fan to blow it. I got different types of fan, USB fan. If you are not worried about the noise pickup from the video, you have external mic. The probably is a good solution. So the fan actually cool down the whole thing and helps a lot. I think at least for the electronic circuit in there, stability, and so on. The first hour when I try it, I think it's about the 45 minutes mark. It suddenly stopped. I think the last message they complain is something like too hot, and it auto shut down. I watch it very closely, and it doesn't seem to me that there's any warning before. There's no yellow hot warning at all, and the temperature is not high, so I believe it's a glitch. And so the second trial I set in the camera manual the temperature. I think there's a setting, forgot what's the name of it, which is like when to alarm shut down, blah blah blah, and I set it to I set it to high. Sorry about that. Yeah, and set to high. That seems to solve the problem. So the second trial is all right. And of course, when I do this, I use a PD 100-watt to power it, so it doesn't draw my battery as well as the battery is not heating up. So overall, it was a fairly well expected and successful test, and I'm very happy to have something like that. And I think this is pretty reliable also. Look at the cabling. As long as you're not twisting and moving it a lot, these things are pretty bulletproof, and I don't see any reason why it would fail. Except, of course, this part is a bit fragile when you don't want to twist it too much. It's actually quite alright with a little rocker here to strengthen it a bit. Everything else seems to be easy to pull in and come out. And I actually tested first on my CF card reader. No, I mean the CF Express card reader. So everything fall into place fairly well expected. So overall, the solution, if it's a solution, it's good for where you have a rig or a cage and you mount this fairly static with power supply and fan, everything. So when you operate in a team environment, you don't hang around with this cabling, but they're all fixed in a single place, and you're not moving around much, and you would get a fairly stable kind of, well, at least I would expect to have a fairly stable kind of production environment for longer term shooting and high 8K kind of environment. Of course, if it's 4K or any codec which is easier for the machine, less heat, generally you don't really need this thing, and internal like that should be fine. Of course, as I told you guys before, I don't own any CF Express native card to start with because I think they are way too expensive for me, for my budget. So I all started with nvme adapter, and I got different kinds of adapter. I only test one, the cheaper one, which is once off, as I told you earlier. Let me try to find the other one. Don't have it here with me. Yeah, this one. Another one is which I ordered, but I haven't tried, but it looks all right. So these are some of those which I think maybe you all already have one. These are multi-use, and these have little tiny screws there. I lost 2 single-use one, even though they're cheap, but it's a waste just to take it off and refit it. So find this I could reuse it, and they're all very thin and seems to me do the job. If it's for prolonged use, sustained, then something like that, I don't feel any problem. And particular, this thing is even the smaller one, as I told you earlier, like that is all around 20 something. So I don't expect that kind of temperature with the thermal management on the SSD itself would throttle anything. So I'm very happy. I think it at least would do would meet the 800 900 megabyte per second requirement for 8K, which is way below the spec of this thing, which is it came 5,000 megabyte per second, but even though it's half of it, it's way beyond what you need. So yeah, very happy, and hope that helps someone who don't want to try it like me. And yeah, maybe it's a good layout for your next project. Cheers, bye.